Welcome back once again to another special edition of Cape Band Today. Heather and I are joined by two very special guests. We're back with Jenny Benedict. She is the executive director at Sawyer Free Library, and also Beth Graham, who is part of the steering committee for the Sawyer Free Foundation. How are you, ladies?
Oh, great.
Thank you so much for inviting us on the show today to give you an update on the Sawyer Free Library 2025.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. So I guess right off the top, Jenny, what is the latest with Sawyer Free 2025? There's a lot going
Yes.
on.
So we have celebrated so many great milestones recently. So at our annual meeting, our principal design architect, Matt Udens, shared the latest designs. City Council has approved our loan order. We've hired a construction manager, and the Sawyer Library Foundation has launched a matching gift campaign challenge. So we'd love to talk a little bit about each of those with you today.
Yeah, there were some changes to the plans, Jenny. Did we read about that in the Gloucester Times?
Yes. So I think, as you know, our vision has always been to maintain the library as a landmark in the center of Gloucester. And the redesign really respects our history and modernizes our library. So we are renovating the existing building and adding on 14,000 square feet in an addition towards School Street. And this design is really a revitalization of our traditional library and a reimagination of our interior layouts. So with the updated design, we have managed to hang on to everything that we've been talking about in terms of community amenities, the 100-seat community room, a dedicated teen space, the expanded children's room with an early literacy center, the Library History Center, a digital makerspace. And we've managed to do all those modifications that make the building a little bit more economical to build. So I have a couple of renderings to show you. These are, brand new, released last week. So the first one, there's the view of the entrance from Dale Avenue. And one of the key design goals is to make it easier for people to navigate in and out and through the building. And the entrance that you will see here has a connecting walkway between the Sawyer Free Library and the historic Saunders House. And that walkway will feature an expanded Matt's Gallery exhibition space.
Oh, nice.
So the second rendering is an aerial view, and what you will see here is that we are keeping the amphitheater and the Sea Harvest Fountain, but we're adding a new accessible sloped pathway that goes up to a front porch. And we really want to be sure that everybody has sort of equal and intuitive use of the 2025 Sawyer Free Library. The view from Mason Street, and probably this is the one that has changed the most since the last version. The facade of the 1976 building will stay the same on this side as it does on the Middle Street side. So we're keeping two whole sides of the existing building. And then the existing building and the new addition will be joined by what the architects called a gasket. And a gasket is a triangular shaped piece of building that has glass on two ends of it. So it'll be very open and naturally lit. And it houses the staircase and the elevator that go between the floors. So the facade of the new addition reinterprets some of the elements that people really like about our 1976 building. It has the vertical windows and that pattern, light colored bricks. So we'll be continuing the brick facade. And then the window trims have the decorative treatment where there's a cascading brick pattern on the left side of each of those windows. So the School Street entrance is also more welcoming in terms of it has a porch that will protect people from the elements. So we're looking forward to having a little bit more of a gentler entrance into the building. So we are now moving forward with city permitting processes and expect construction to start this summer. So this is a really exciting transition from us, going from all of this planning that has been going on for 5 years, I would say. And now into actual implementation, we'll start to see work happening. So certainly City Council's approval of the $29 million loan order, instrumental in our progress. We're so grateful. Almost 500 people came out and showed their support in one way or another to council. And so that's a huge thank you to our community for that. The loan order is significant because it allows us to finalize the grant agreement with the Massachusetts Board of Library Commissioners. And that is a $9 million award. So it's really significant in our being able to fund this project. The grant also, one of the grant requirements is that the municipality has to receive that. The library cannot receive it directly. So this loan order is one of those grant requirements. Secondly, that loan order is providing the financing for this project. So the proceeds from the state grant and the fundraising come in over a 5-year period. And what the loan order does is bridge the time period from when those funds are being received and when the construction costs are due to be paid. So in addition, the grant fundraising, the library, sorry, back up a bit. In addition to the grant, funds are being raised by the Sawyer Library Foundation. That foundation board consists of nonprofit and business professionals with deep ties to the Gloucester community and substantial fundraising experience. So they launched a public campaign in May, Sawyer Free 2025, and that has campaign has a lot of traction and a lot of momentum, and currently, including the grant from the MBLC, is currently sitting at just a little over 15.2 million. And I'm delighted that Beth Graham is here today from the Library Foundation. She's on the steering committee, and she is going to tell us about a matching campaign.
And then we'll be glad to have you ask us any questions, Heather and Kory. So what's so exciting, as Jenny mentioned, is all of these significant gifts and commitments we've received. The city councilors being one of them, the commitment for the loan to advance money that we, the foundation, are busy fundraising to pay back. But as these significant gifts have come in, what's been very, very exciting for us, or additionally exciting, is when the campaign launched. Jenny mentioned it launched in May, the Sawyer 2025 campaign, Sawyer Free 2025 campaign. Somebody heard one of the ads we had on the radio, and this person was not from Essex County, but lives in the greater Boston area. And she was so inspired by the ad that she went to the SawyerFree2025.org website, was even more inspired, and contacted our campaign manager and said, my family foundation will give you anonymously $100,000 challenge grant.
Wow.
So
can you forward her number to me, Beth?
Yeah, right. I mean, I've been in a
we
development.
can make an ad. Yeah. We've got good ad ideas.
I know. I mean, in the development field, which I've been in for about 2 decades, it's just, you just never know. And so our job is to tell our message, to give our message, because you don't know who's going to hear it and find it meaningful. So
can I just ask, is Gloucester meaningful to this family? Do we know at all?
Yes, the Gloucester is, and libraries are. And so this family foundation is generous with their mission for their family foundation. And they, as I say, contacted our campaign manager. So we've just launched this $100,000 challenge grant. In part, it's because, not simply because we want to do right by this donor, and we want to match it and have another 100,000, but we know that so many people in the community who can't make 10,000, 20,000, 100,000, $1 million gifts. So many people in our community want to be part of this campaign. So we've launched this challenge. We have 75 days to match it, to meet it. It launched in the middle of October. 75 days would take us to December 31st. And at this point, we're at let me just get the exact number from the most recent calculations. We're at $34,700 towards this match. And that's with gifts from $5 to $5,000. So a real gamut of donors. So to help our community know about the challenge, we have mailed, hopefully everyone received one. I know it's backwards on this, but we mailed a postcard to every Gloucester household. It was part of our fundraising effort to say, join us, be part of the future. Right. So we're very excited about that. We know of some other family foundations who've contacted us to say, wow, oh, that's interesting. We'll consider a gift too. So the number I just gave you, 34,700, is not with any significant big $0 gifts, but a significant number of new to us supporters and people who love the library and love what libraries mean in this community.
Right.
That's very exciting.
Yeah. And what's the easiest way for folks to contribute if they want to? Is it through the website, Beth?
It is. And it's SawyerFree2025.org is the foundation's website. It's got a very easy, navigable, clickable donation page. And it also has, when you click through to that donation part, it'll tell you where to send checks if that's how you'd prefer to give. Not everyone wants to give online. The website also has some fabulous visuals and testimonials. Jenny's on it. Our current governor's on it. Bruce Tarr's on that website talking about little vignette testimonials about the importance of the library. But that is the easiest place to give if you are a web user. If you're a Facebook person, we have a Facebook page too, Sawyer Free 2025 Facebook, and there's that's where it's more, since Facebook's more agile than websites, the updated stats are there more readily. So Facebook is also a way to give.
Gotcha. And I wonder, as the campaign continues, even beyond 2022, we're on the cusp of Gloucester's 400th anniversary, of course. Does the library have special events geared around that as part of this campaign as well?
So I think I will just jump in and mention that the library historically has run an annual campaign at the end of the year. And this year we are asking everyone who normally gives to that campaign to please give to Sawyer 2025, Sawyer Free 2025 instead. So that'll give a little boost to this challenge. Mm-hmm. In terms of the 400th, yes, the library has been heavily involved with the planning for Gloucester 400. One of our big initiatives is the Gloucester 400th timeline. So we have been working on an online format that really chronicles all the places and the people and significant milestones over Gloucester's 400th history. And that is something that we will be launching. I believe it'll be launching in the fall into street kiosks is the plan for how that'll first come out into the community.
Oh, cool.
And Jenny, I think I know somebody who might be working on that. Have you recruited people from the community to take sections of history and sort of research? Is that right?
Absolutely. We have a number of volunteers who are working on different aspects of that timeline and certainly welcome new people who would like to participate.
It's a great way to do it. And from what I had understood, you're really looking at not just all the stories that people know about the Gloucester's 400 years. You're looking at different angles.
Mm-hmm. Yes, so we've looked at, Indigenous history. We're looking at women's studies, certainly maritime history, of course, and immigration. But there are a number of, different angles that we're exploring.
And Jenny, first of all, it's still business as usual with Sawyer Free Library. So can you discuss the move to Main Street and how that 21 Main Street, how that transition's gone?
Yes, so our SFL at 21 Main Street is up and running. I think we've been up for almost a month now. And I think people walk in and they're like, we're amazed with what you did here, It has something for everybody. full services for both adults and children, along with internet access computers and public printing, all the normal things that you were used to finding in our big library. They're all there. We have a good selection of materials, both adults and children's, with bestsellers and hot titles, and sort of a modest collection of also classics. And then if there are titles people are looking for that we don't have, we can request those through the Noble Libraries and have them delivered here within a few days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a tour with Ethan Foreman, a remote tour. It looked really beautiful and incredibly established. It certainly didn't look like it was a pop-up library.
Yes, we brought so much with us that makes it feel like the Sawyer Free Library. Mm-hmm. Even the existing bar that was in the space, we transitioned that into our service desk and put our lovely "Welcome to Sawyer Free Library" banners across the front. So yeah, it feels very familiar.
Yeah.
And so, speaking of timelines, Jenny, what is the timeline? How long does the library plan to be at this remote spot, and when does ground break for the new project?
Mm-hmm. So our timeline is we expect to be at 21 Main, I would say, for 2 years. So Sawyer Free 2025 would put the opening of the new library in early 2025. Groundbreaking, we're looking at sometime this summer, and we'll have more of an update on that to come.
So I want to just say this is a chance for me to salute Jenny and her staff at the library. And I can do that because I'm a volunteer. I'm not paid by the library. I'm on the foundation fundraising side. But I was extremely moved, impressed, and inspired during COVID when the library pivoted so quickly and helped so many, including my family, with books and resources and feeling like there's a life out there. And to see that same team, and under Jenny's leadership now, do the same type of pivot when they had to empty the library, figure out where to go, and have this vision of a better and bigger library is just remarkable. And so for the fundraisers couldn't do what we are doing if the staff of the library and the vision and their commitment wasn't as grounded and robust as it is. And I just want to thank you, Jenny, and your staff, because you're awesome.
It's true. We've been doing interviews with you guys since before COVID, but it feels as if there's always something incredibly important happening at the Sawyer Free Library. Whether it's pivoting to manage COVID and staying open and being, servicing the community so well. And now, a $29 million project.
And Beth, it's obvious that this fundraising effort means so much to you. Do you want to explain where your love for the library comes from and why this is so important to you?
I'll say 2 things. One is, I don't know if you can see that little girl back there, my little statue of the reader is right here. I should bring her forward. When I retired from my position as a Chief Development Officer at Pathways for Children, they gave me this doll, this sculpture. It's amazing. This little reader.
Oh, that's beautiful.
She's been in my house with my husband and me for the last 2.5 years. Little did they know that when I was in my family growing up, we didn't play with dolls. I had a lot of sisters. We didn't play with dolls. We played library. And libraries were just in my life. And reading was in my life. I was a teacher in an earlier career. So I would say that is, Kory, the beginning of why this matters to me. And the other piece is because connects with libraries. My love for libraries is they are the best democratization of knowledge and opportunity in our society. And I want to do everything I can to support that. And why I love the challenge, back to the $100,000 challenge, is this is a chance for the whole community to join in and be able to give at their level of their ability to do the same. So I will say the website again in case you missed it.
Say it.
The best way to give is Sawyer Free 2025, the number 2025, the year 2025, SawyerFree2025.org.
Mhm. Nicely. And Jenny, any last words to folks out there who just may need that little extra nudge? We know we're in the giving season now, but also, just why this is so important, obviously, to you.
Oh, goodness. I was reflecting not long ago in terms of my career trajectory. I served as an administrator at the Hartford Public Library in Connecticut in the last economic downturn. And that library was significantly disadvantaged with two big budget cuts during those years. And my next move from that library was to go out to British Columbia for 9 years to be a library director. And in my heart, I still held this goal that I wanted to come back to the US, and I wanted to come back to a community and take all of that learning and give a community the 21st century library that it deserved. And so for me personally, this is that opportunity. Compared to Canada, in Canada, libraries are valued very highly, and they're actually funded very well. And so in the US, I think public libraries struggle more with infrastructure funding to be able to build have the kind of space that is really can support a whole community for the next generation and the generation after that. And Gloucester is very near and dear to my heart. There are so many aspects of Gloucester that from its history, from its natural beauty, from the big arts community that's here, that the city of Gloucester really deserves to have this library at this time. And it is such a pleasure to lead this effort.
Exciting times for sure. And we appreciate the update. We would love to speak with you both on the other side of the holiday season for another progress report too. We know you have a lot going on, so we appreciate your time once again. Jenny Benedict and Beth Graham of Sawyer Free Library. Check out that website, folks, if you want to contribute in any way. And we thank you both for your time.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Interested in a sponsorship? Email sponsor@1623studios.org to learn more.